Hey everybody! Well, I struggled on whether or not to buy this set from Lego, but I just had to have it. And it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I love the movie. It's just absolutely fantastic. And what's really cool is that this one is based on the Gene Wilder version, not the Johnny Depp version, which I do like the Johnny Depp version as well. But the Gene Wilder version is the one I grew up with, and it's always going to be the classic. So this is the classic chocolate room scene, and this is set number 21360, and it has 2,025 pieces. It's a relatively large set. It came out on September 18th of 2025, and the reason I struggled with it is because it retails for $220, and that just really kind of completely turned me off, and I wasn't even going to get it. But then I discovered I had a bunch of VIP points, so thankfully I was able to get a discount on this. But it looks like a really great set. You can see it comes with quite a few minifigures. It has all the kids, Willy Wonka, of course, 2 Oompa Loompas, which is fantastic. I do wish that it came with the parents for the kids, because they were just as much a part of the movie as just about everybody else. The only adult that it comes with is Grandpa Joe here, and of course Willy Wonka. We actually get a Willy Wonka minifigure, which is great. Now on the back here, you can see a different angle of it. It comes with the boat. I can't remember what that was called. He had a name for it. The chocolate waterfall will actually move. It's a dial that you turn on the back. And I think behind here somewhere is a little bit of details like Willy Wonka's office. If you recall in the movie, everything was cut in half in his office. And I think they put a little bit of a section in there that shows that. I wish it was a little bit more. But it looks like it's going to be a really fun set to build, very colorful. So I'll go ahead and get started on this, and if there's anything interesting along the way of the build, I'll cut in and show it to you, but otherwise I'll just show it to you when it's all built. Okay, so I just want to show you this part before it's all covered up, but I got this much started on it now. And so here is going to be the mechanism that makes the chocolate waterfall work. There's a knob back here that you're going to turn, and you can see it's turning this main gear wheel. And then you got this belt drive right here that you build, and it's a little bit repetitive, but it goes together pretty quick. So that's what it looks like on the top, and then there's the bottom, and it's just going to go over this thing on the gears. That's how that's going to turn, like that. And then on these studs here, you're going to add all the brown pieces that make up the chocolate, and they've got this very interesting pattern that you're going to put on here. So it's very cool. But yeah, I really like this. I think it's pretty neat. It's going together great. A lot of the parts in the first few bags are just to build this base, because you got to make a pretty large section of the base. But yep, I love it. Very cool. All right, well, I should have it done here pretty soon. Okay, let's start with the minifigures. So we've got Grandpa Joe, and we've also got Charlie Bucket. And you can see that he is holding his golden ticket. He's got the blue sweater on, just like he did in the movie. And then Grandpa's nicely dressed. The hair pieces are great on these two characters. Here's what the back of them look like. And they also have alternate faces. And flipping the hair pieces, you can see how the alternate faces look. And here we've got Veruca Salt and Violet Beauregard. Both look fantastic. I gotta say, the minifigures on this set, they really did a great job capturing the actual people, the way they look. Everybody's got their golden tickets. Veruca Salt's hairpiece is really nice. Here you can see the back printing. And Violet has her little belt that kind of goes around. Fun fact, the girl that played Violet Beauregard said that days after she filmed the scene where she turned into a blueberry, I think she was in school or something, and all of a sudden blue like little dots started showing up on her face, and it was actually the blue makeup. They had packed so much of that makeup on her face that days later it started coming out of her pores. I mean, can you imagine? And here's their alternate faces, but I think for Veruca Salt, I'm going to keep her face being grouchy, because that's how she was through most of the movie. And here is Augustus Gloop and Mike TV, and oh my gosh, I love Augustus Gloop's face print with the chocolate all over his mouth. That is fantastic. Their outfits are great, especially Mike TV. He looks just like the little cowboy outfit that he was wearing in the movie. Really love the way that they were able to put his hat on his back, because that's the way we saw him most of the time in the movie. They just have that extra little neck piece on there, and then they used a couple of clear studs to attach it. You can also remove his hairpiece and have him wear the hat, of course. But I really love the way they did that. Looks really, really good. And here's their alternate faces. So another fun fact here, the kid that played Mike TV, I guess he was quite the brat on the during the filming of that movie. In fact, Gene Wilder kind of commented that he was kind of like a not the easiest kid to have around, but he actually, in the scene where you see all those bees in that, like they're making the honey for the candy and stuff like that, he actually went in during, between filming and released those bees. And so they had these bees all over. I think they were wasps, actually. And they were all over the set. So he wasn't the best kid on there. One of the highlights on this set is the Oompa Loompas. These are so cool. I absolutely love the Oompa Loompa minifigures. I mean, the face is just perfect. The way they had the makeup done, the way they did the hair, their outfits. Here's what the back of them looks like. They actually printed these pretty good too. A lot of times Lego cannot seem to get the white on top of a darker color, and you can kind of see it through there. They've been getting a lot of complaints about it. I hope that they start getting better about it. Their quality control lately has been kind of slipping, but on here, these two particular characters look really good. They both have alternate faces, but you can see each face on each one of them. And, of course, the man of mystery himself, Willy Wonka. Oh, man. So he is the last figure that you put together. He's in the last bag. Love that print on his outfit. Once again, that looks exactly like Gene Wilder. It looks just like his outfit. It actually looks kind of like Gene Wilder. The hair piece is really cool. The hair and the hat are actually all one piece. He's got his little cane right there. Here's the back. And seeing that cane that he's carrying, another fun fact about the movie is Gene Wilder only took the role if he was able to do that stunt at the beginning where he comes out. Everybody first gets to see what Willy Wonka looks like, and it looks like he's got his leg is messed up and he's kind of limping. And then right when he gets to the fence, he does that thing where he leans forward and then he all of a sudden tumbles and everybody's cheering and everything like that. Gene Wilder insisted on having to be able to do that in the movie. It was the only way he took the role. And the reason he wanted to do that is because he said that once he did that little stunt, everybody's going to know that they're not really sure that they can trust him. He's going to be a very, interesting character because they're not going to know what to expect. And here's his alternate face where you can see that he's smiling. So yeah, excellent figure. Here's the Wonkatania, and oh my gosh, this thing is really cool. I mean, it looks just like the boat in the movie because it had such a weird look to it. But you can see here, it had some pretty neat, ways to put this together. There's pieces on this whole set that I haven't seen before. I don't know if they're new or if I just haven't seen them. But you can see it looks just like it. Now, this little paddle boat here, it actually does turn, or the little paddle wheel. I think that's really neat. And then there is some stickers, unfortunately. You got a sticker here for the rudder, this little detail over here, this detail here as well, and the W. These pieces are really neat. They're usually in those Ninjago sets, but they did a really good job making those, as part of the detailing on the side. Here you can see the stickers are the same on this side. Interesting that they used this ring piece on there. I thought that was pretty cool. It can only, actually it sits 6 people because there is seats in the middle. They just don't have a back to it, which I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, but they're just the plates that have the 2 studs on the side. But I thought that was kind of interesting, maybe just to make it a little easier to take them in and out of there. And the wheel right here is very cool as well. And then that's a print on the top for that umbrella part. That scene in the movie, gosh, what a weird scene. I remember as a kid, it's like, my God, they were showing all kinds of crazy things, like people, like close-ups of eyeballs. There's even a chicken that got its head cut off. I was really surprised they put that in that movie. But, I think they said that movie really wasn't intended for children. It was, it was based on the original book. I'm not sure how good it followed the original book. But that is a really disturbing scene in the movie, but it's pretty funny. And then I think, I can't remember which kid it was. It might have been the lady that played Violet Beauregard, but she said that Gene Wilder was actually kind of scaring some of the kids because when he starts going off on that really weird tangent, they really didn't know what he was going to do. So, I think they were kind of concerned about, who the heck they were working with at one point. But it's very cool. And here is the set itself, and oh my gosh, I had so much fun building this set. There is so many cool things that you get to put together on this set, and it's just a lot of fun. Really neat looking things in here, some references directly from the movie, which I absolutely loved. A bunch of pieces I mentioned that I haven't seen before, but they really captured the look of this chocolate room. I think it looks fantastic. Another thing that I didn't notice originally, but I'm noticing now, and I think they make a mention of it in the instructions, is you'll notice these lamps, they start out larger, medium, and small. And so it's like a forced perspective to make it look like it goes further back than it actually does. And I've always been fascinated with forced perspective. They use it a lot in different shows and movies. So I thought that was really clever how they did it. That bridge, I mean, there's so many details on here. I'll get some close-ups so we can check out some things. And let's see what else on this side. There's actually a little bit on the back here too, including Willy Wonka's office. There's some references there and some other cool references up here too. So we'll check all of that out. This is the knob that you turn to make the waterfall move, as you can see here. And I showed you how that mechanism works. So let me go ahead and get some close-ups so you can check out all the really cool things that are in it. Starting on this side, we can see some really cool little candies and stuff. Those are prints on the little lollipop type of things. You got the small ones there. The bigger ones here, these can be adjusted to which way you want them to angle. This tree, I'm pretty sure that is a reference to the big gummy bears that we saw in that movie. There was those gummy bears that that were kind of growing on a tree. That mushroom is the one I think that Veruca Salt was eating a little whipped cream out of the top of those. Love the use of the minifigure head right there for some kind of another confection. I love the cool little berries that are growing on this bush. You do build a lot of bushes in this set. There's some more of these, like maybe like giant gumballs or something. Really nice. And there's another tree here. And I love the plumbing that's going on over here. I think this pipe, the purple one, I think is a reference to when Augustus Gloop gets in there. There's this one little brown section right here. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a reference to when Augustus Gloop gets stuck in there. But I'm guessing that's what that is a reference to. So here is the awesome chocolate waterfall. Now, if I can reach back here and turn this knob, you'll see how this works. Let me see if I can try to get an even flow right here. So you can see how that works. This is really cool. I'm really glad they added this function where you can have the waterfall turning like this. There we go. Now it'd be really neat if it was motorized. If you can get a motor on there, that would be really cool. But I think most of the motors turn pretty fast. And I also like how they put this little hood on top so it kind of hides the way that comes around the top like that, so it's kind of neat. But I love this thing. This is really a great feature. I love when they put moving stuff in there. Now in here, that's where the Oompa Loompas first come out. There's this little door right there, and it opens when they first come out, and everybody's kind of shocked to see what they are. And then up here we got the sugar. They have the bucket more in the middle here, but the problem is then you can't see the cane sugar, so I kind of moved it more to the side. And then you can also see the top of the building right there for the windows. And then I think that was where the milk, didn't they pour milk in some kind of a, maybe that was like a sink or something, and it went down this little trough type of thing right there. So that's the reference for that, which is really neat. Also like the little weeds that are kind of growing around everywhere. Now here's the chocolate river, and I gotta say, that's the only thing I don't like about it, is that they left this with studs on it. I really think that they should have made it so that everything is tiled off and smooth. I mean, they try to make it look like there's waves and stuff in there, but I don't know, it looks unfinished without having any kind of smoothness to it. And also the Wonkatania doesn't glide across that very well. I mean, most people are going to want to play with that coming through the tunnel and everything, and they just kind of left that with studs. I just wish they would have finished that off better. On this side, we got another little pathway, and I think that's where you're supposed to board the Wonkatania. It's got that little step right there. And this is really neat. The scene where Gene Wilder, or Willy Wonka, is when he's singing that Pure Imagination song, he's drinking that cup, and it's whatever liquid it is, and at the very end of it, he starts eating that cup. And so they actually put that reference in there, and I think that's so cool. Now, another fun fact is that Gene Wilder said they had to do several takes of that, and the cup was actually made of wax, so it wasn't really anything edible, and so they had a spit bucket next to him so that he could just spit all that wax out. He said it didn't taste very good at all, but he made it look good. Here's another one of these cool mushrooms with the whipped cream on top. And some more really neat looking things here. Now these candy cane pieces, I've never seen those before. These are new to me. They probably originated in a Friends set, is my guess. Love the way they look. And then got another really colorful tree here. Those are also adjustable down here so that you can have it leaning out or not so far out. There's that forced perspective look with those lamps. See how that works like that? That looks so good. Also got this bridge. Love the bridge. There's cool little plants on there. And I love how you can go all the way around. And yes, the Wonkatania does fit in there. I'll show that to you here in just a little bit. Now let's go around the back because there's more stuff here. Now I don't know what this is, but I'm guessing that that is a everlasting gobstopper maybe. I mean, it's super huge, but that might be what that is, a reference to the everlasting gobstopper. Here's the other side of the bridge. And then here's where you come over here to Willy Wonka's office. And here's that door that opened I was showing you earlier. Now this is really neat. Let me see if I can get better lighting in there. Okay, now in the scene where it's kind of close to the end of the movie where we get to see Willy Wonka's office. And that's the scene where everything is in half. It's such a weird scene, but I love it. So there is some references to that. So this chair right here can turn, but you'll notice it's a half chair. That's great. There's some stairs that lead up to that door. And I believe that was the contract that everybody signed at the beginning. Remember how everybody signs it? And then here is that wallpaper that you could lick, and whatever fruit that you're licking in there is what it tasted like. And yes, the snozberries taste like snozberries, of course. So that's really neat that they put those in there. There's no actual writing on that contract. On this side, there's a sink that's like a half a sink. There's his little office with his quill, and then there's this thing here is a lamp, but the lamp is in half. See how the shade is cut in half? And he's looking, that's where he's looking through that, that magnifying glass. It's too bad they couldn't make the magnifying glass in half. If you recall in the movie, he used a half of a magnifying glass. That scene is pretty funny, actually, the way they kind of did that. That picture right there is also in half. When you put the sticker on there, you're going to have to try to put that sticker to the very edge so it looks more like the picture was cut in half like that, but it's really neat. I like this little orange piece right in here. And I think that's all the references to the half stuff. I really like that too, these little tubes. It's got a bunch of color in there. And they even made the mechanism for the waterfall. They made that look like candy too, but so you can kind of go like this. But I'm sure there's a way you could probably motorize that. Now here on the top, there's a wheelbarrow, what that the Oompa Loompas use that you saw them kind of carting around, and you can probably put that up in the front if you want to, because it's just held in there by a clip right in the back. And then this thing is really neat. That is a reference to when Mike TV got caught up in the Wonka vision, the scene where he wants to be the first human that gets transmitted through TV. And so there's little Mike TV on there. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see how you can see he's in that outfit. Remember, he was in that striped outfit right there? So that is really neat. And there's just a few other goodies. There's actually a bottle back there. I'm not sure you can see it because I'm not sure I can get the light in there, but there's a bottle. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting because you can't really even see it once you're, once you've kind of sealed it in there. So there's some neat little things that they kind of put in there that, I don't know if they're supposed to be hidden or not, but, I just think it's really cool. But it is good that they made that little reference to his office. There's a bunch of other things that they could have done too. But, maybe if this set is successful enough, they can do other scenes too, like the everlasting gobstopper machine or the fizzy lifting drink scene, or just any of those great scenes that are in the movie. The golden eggs where Veruca Salt gets dropped down in that bad egg, erratic, what was it? Egg-dicator or something like that is what he called it. Anyway, that's pretty neat. So I love the whole set. It's fantastic. So there you have it, the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory set from Lego. Oh man, I absolutely love this set. I think it's so cool. So many neat little things in this. Here's the Wonkatania. I told you how it does fit under the bridge right here. Now, another fun fact is that in that scene where they are driving around in the boat, the Oompa Loompa, the actor that played the Oompa Loompa, he thought that he was actually really driving the boat, but the boat was actually on a track underneath the water. And the director and the crew just didn't have the heart to tell him that he wasn't actually driving the boat because he was having so much fun. So they just let him go on believing that he was driving it. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, this set is great. I absolutely love it. It retails for $220. Or yeah, $220. Came out on September 18th of 2025. I don't know. That, if I didn't get it on sale, I probably would have passed on it or maybe waited till it went on sale. But yeah, I think realistically it should be around $175, maybe $180. I know they have to pay for the license and everything on it, but I think oftentimes they use that excuse just to make it even more expensive than it actually is. But other than that, I think the set's great. I do wish that the parents, more minifigures for the parents would have been great. Everybody, not just Grandpa Joe, but everybody. And also, once again, I do wish that the chocolate river was tiled off because it doesn't really smooth. You know, it gets caught on the studs in there. And so, I don't know, I just think that could have been a little bit better, but everything else looks fantastic. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I will see you on the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.